Hey, remember me? I'm John. Welcome back to Rido of Forging. Part 2 of the file knife project. Should be a lot of fun. We're going to do the grinding in this episode, maybe even a heat treat. Stick around. I got a new grinder, so should be pretty fun to use. We're going to be profiling the shape, doing some of the basic stuff. Should be interesting. Hope you find it interesting. Welcome back. So, here it is, my new jet grinder. It is pretty awesome. Got belt, wheel. I think I have about 100 grit on it right now. Not overly important, but this thing works great. I got dust tube over there. First off, safety first. Got the knife. We're gonna grind on it. Get it shaped exactly how we want. Here we go.
I refined the shape right here of the front, so that's much cleaner. Now I'm going to work on the tang a bit. And now I'm going to be smart and I'm going to go get a bucket of water so I can cool it off and not be a dipshit for a minute. Alright, we now have a bucket. Let's get back to it. There it is. Tang's looking much cleaner. Still got quite a bit of work to do. Clean up the sides there. I think I might take it a little bit narrower. Yeah, just so I don't have to make it so wide. The shape is nice. I honestly don't know how much I want to do more there. Might grind the bevel a little more, but I don't want to make it too thin, obviously, because then everything gets screwed up. And as for the sides, I want to try and leave them the way they are, try and keep the file texture, because I really like that look. But that's basically what we got going there. Continuing grinding. Alright. So I'm done with what I wanted to get done
On the tang, and that looks pretty good, I'd say. Fairly clean. I can clean it up with a hand file fairly easily. I think the next step, I might want to take that edge a little bit thinner because it's still fairly stout, especially right up here in the front. It actually gets thinner throughout the rest of the blade, which is not what you want in a knife. So I'll clean that up. Better make sure not to make it too thin because then it could risk cracking or warping during the quench. And I really don't want to put up with dealing with that and having to fix that. So continuing on. So, as you can see, we're done with the profiling. It's looking good. It's looking like a knife. Good sort of slashing design. You can see, cleaned up the edges of the tang there, which actually made the tang a little longer, which I really like. It's going to make it really secure in the handle, since it is a through tang and they have a tendency to be a little bit weaker. There's the front of it. Got a nice shape to it. Might take that point off just for standing here, but managed to keep all the sides intact, keep the file texture, and it means it's going to have a fairly stout back, but that just means more weight for cutting through something. Keeps the blade nice and thin, so very good for slashing. Not so great for chopping, although actually, given how stout it is, it'll probably chop through something fairly effectively. But now it's on to the heat treat, so we're going to start work on that. So, that's it for part 2, which has been the profile grinding. I know this part was fairly short and unexciting, but it's a necessary step in the process, so I'm going to still include it. It still gets its own part, though, because the rest of the parts take up too much space. I was originally planning to cram it in with the heat treat, but figured out that both of those should just have their own independent videos. Works better that way. Hope you guys enjoy. And see you in part 3, where we do the heat treat. Should be a fun process. It's going to be a 3 or 4 step process. So, should be an interesting journey, an interesting rido. So, goodbye.